we actually still have a lock of his hair downstairs.
It's
like,
gross.
For a hanging plant, and we just kind of forgot about it. And every now and then we just see it, and we're like, "Oh yeah, what's up, Jaden's hair?"
It's a really fucked up thing. I never really realized it's so fucked up until other people are like, "Why the fuck is that hanging from the ceiling?" And I know
hanging from the ceiling. What the fuck?
Yes, it's hanging from the fucking ceiling above where we ship our merch. I'm getting it out there now. It's fucking hilarious.
It's like I never think about it. I see it, I'm just like, "Oh, all right." Anyway, about my day.
Alrighty, moving on. Welcome to the 53rd episode of the Cast That Ends Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering. This is a show where I interview bands and public figures from the mathcore adjacent communities. If you beautiful people in chat have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in. I'll try to read them aloud. If you like this up for $5, you get access to some exclusive emotes, as well as access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and streaming services. You can also sub for free by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, which allows you to get one free sub for a streamer a month. I hope it's me. It's like taking $5 from Jeff Bezos' pocket and putting it into mine. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this in your car and have no idea what I'm talking about, the show is first recorded live on Twitch. Join us every Sunday and Wednesday at twitch.tv/the for the live cast. With that out of the way, let me introduce our guest tonight, who dropped their disgusting debut album back in February. Interstice, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Knoll. How's it going, guys?
Yo, what's up?
Hey.
Tell us who you are, what you do in the band.
I can go first. I'm Jamie Eubanks. I do vocals, noise. I play drums on the record.
Oh, I didn't know that.
My name is Lucas Quarterman. I played bass on the record and also played the viola for one track, but
Really? I didn't even hear a viola. Holy shit. Okay.
It's pretty deep in the mix.
yeah.
I'm Drew. I played guitars on the record, and I started doing a little engineering recently.
Alrighty. You guys are fresh off of Roadburn. How did that go?
Dude, it was fucking sweet.
Very positive experience.
That's awesome. I haven't checked out any of the online fests aside from Mathcore Index Fest. How does all that stuff work? Is this one where you had to like buy tickets and stuff to go see it, or how did it all work?
This one was free.
There was donations that you could give, but you could just hop on. No need to log in or create an account or anything if you don't want to. You can
that's sick.
watch all the videos as they come out, and then they're keeping all the videos up from the entire weekend up until Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're letting every band release them themselves if they want to, which is really nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I saw a little bit of y'all's set, but I didn't see the whole thing. I saw y'all did like interviews and stuff. They seem to be kind of promoting it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I mean,
cool of them to like want to talk about us a lot.
Yeah, Becky, who owns Roadburn, if anybody doesn't know, like let us in on some of the numbers that were for Roadburn. I think they just tweeted that like 75,000 unique viewers were in throughout the weekend, and there were like over 10,000 people that viewed our set, which was just absurd.
Jesus, that's crazy.
Yeah, the chat, like it was pre-recorded. We recorded it like 2 weeks prior, so we were watching the chat the entire time, and it was just going bonkers, and it was a super rewarding feeling for sure.
Dude, that is awesome. Holy shit. Well, let's get to the interview. Your name is Knoll, and besides being a furniture design studio, Google says it's a hill or a mound, but I feel like it's referencing something religious. What's it all about?
Knoll is less of like a meaning name, like as in most other bands do, and more of the name for the entity in which we operate. It's as if my name is James. Like that's literally all it is, and that's how we picked it.
Wait, I don't understand. So, like, you live in a hill, or how does that work?
I mean,
it's literally just like
as Knoll. That's about
yeah.
it.
I hardly know how to explain it, but it's just the name for the band, like rather than any sort of meaning that we're trying to do. And I feel like that gave us like a bigger platform from which we could work. Plus, we also came up with it when I was like 15 or 16, but it's definitely stuck. So
Okay, well, I mean, for a name, you could pick like basically anything. So, like, I guess Knoll's just something that's been rattling around your head for a long time, and you finally have a place to use it. That's what's happening? Okay,
it sort of came to us.
It's more of on a whim thing, I think.
alrighty. Well, because like when I was looking y'all's stuff up, I would type in Knoll on YouTube, and a bunch of religious stuff would come up along with your videos, which is weird. So I thought that maybe there was some sort of commentary y'all were doing or something.
I've tried to like induct meaning into the band name like all the years that we've been doing it. I didn't know that it stood for anything religious. That's actually really fucking cool.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not sure if it's religious specifically, but all these religious videos that had like the word Knoll in them and stuff were popping up. So, like, okay, I kind of thought that y'all meant something with it. But anyway, your Facebook was created in 2018. I imagine it's when you guys started. Can you walk us through how all that happened?
Dude, yeah. So it was me and Evan, our other guitarist who's not here right now, who I guess like founded the band. Lucas came on like really, really shortly after, and that was in January 2017, I think. So we've been going for quite a few years. But like when we were like first making the band, we didn't really know what our musical direction was. Like the first few songs that we wrote were like more of like a Southern death kind of thing, like a shit ton of power chords and now it's just like all like dissonant and blast beats. And I've been writing drums for the band pretty much ever since we started up until we found a new drummer now, and I like could not play for shit. So I really, it took me a while to figure out how to do that, to make the music that we wanted to make. And not only that, but I didn't really figure out how to do my current vocal style until like late 2018 or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like before that, I could always do like death growls and like gutturals and stuff like that and like high screams, but I didn't really figure out how to get it really shrill as I wanted to until like maybe a year and a half after being in the band. Although that's a rough number. I can't quite remember.
What about you, Drew? When did you come in?
I joined August 2019, sort of like very suddenly, because like I joined because Evan was going away to college up in Murfreesboro. This was like a year before they moved up there too. And Lucas just texted me one day and he was like, "Hey, I know you play guitar. Can you cover a show?" And I was like, "Okay." And I'm just here now.
Yeah.
They just trapped you in. They roped you in.
Yeah. We were all based in Memphis. And then Evan ended up going to Murfreesboro, or it's just south of Nashville, for college. And we knew we were going to be going up there a year later. And now Lucas and I live in the same house in Murfreesboro. So we're all like kind of split between Nashville and Memphis.
Bingy's in there.
But yeah, like the gap in shows, I guess, that we had, like while Evan was up in Nashville and everybody else was in Memphis, we needed to fill in. So yeah, we ended up hitting up Drew, and that was also when we were wrapping up the writing for Interstice. So Drew ended up contributing to that just before we went into the studio.
Okay. So the first thing you dropped was First thing you dropped was an EP called Hymns from the Chasm. It's just basically a demo of songs from Interstice. I wanted to check it out though, to see what you guys sounded like back in the day, but I can't find it. Looks like it's just not on the internet anymore. I'm actually impressed that y'all were able to scrub it. So like, why did y'all take it off?
To be frank, we just fucking hate it. With Interstice, we wanted to go as big as possible upon the album release, and I kind of didn't want to spoil how those songs were made. And there were so few people that picked up the physical release, and if they want to upload it, they can. Like once you have it, you have it. And I just kind of wanted to keep it to the people that were seeing us locally as we were kind of figuring things out. He's got a tape right there.
Dug this up today. This is the last copy that we have.
Yeah, I have it on my hard drive, but I'm not uploading it.
Yeah, we were definitely making that in our fetal years. we didn't quite know what we were doing, but I mean, people fucking dug it, which like I'll always appreciate. But I just like wanted what was out there to be, the full representation of the band, and we felt that would kind of detract. So
yeah, do this song version of those songs now entirely.
Well, do they sound different than what y'all ended up putting?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Written differently, or just like the recording quality?
Both. Mostly the recording quality on that demo, in my opinion, was garbage. The guy who mixed it didn't really know how to mix it, and we didn't get it mastered, and we hardly knew how to record. But yeah, like Earth, Siren, Lung, I think only 3 riffs from the demo are like actually in the current song. Callous of the Maw and Gratian Axiom were like vastly different. So when we actually started like prepping the songs for Interstice, we definitely rehashed them a lot, and they are much better.
I kind of want to hear it now if they sound different. Like, this is something y'all should put up. Come on.
Dude, I'll fucking send it to you. fucking Marika, who we interviewed with for Roadburn, was also asking to hear it, and I tried finding it on my computer, and I could not.
Even scrubbed it from your own computer.
I don't think I ever had a copy of it anyway.
My computer has since crashed since I've gotten it, so I've lost that entirely.
Drew might for real be the only person in possession of it besides the film.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
I think you're the only person with it. And,
yeah, I have it backed up. I have it backed up on 2 hard drives.
I do not have a physical version of it. I don't own a copy of much stuff from that era.
Blaverty in chat is asking, if Knoll was a breakfast food, what would you be?
Vegan sausage.
Vegan sausage.
Okay.
Because that's what we eat.
I didn't know y'all were vegan.
I'm actually the only one who's vegan, but I've like tried to get them in the loop of beyond breakfast sausage.
So,
Yeah.
Lucas, you would rather eat the vegan sausage than regular sausage, or what's going on?
At this point in time, it's tasting better to me. So
I think
I feel the same way.
What?
I work
need
out
to get on
with,
this train.
yeah, it's delicious. Dunkin' Donuts has like a fantastic fucking vegan sandwich. I remember we posted it on Twitter and it kind of went nuts. My order is Beyond Sausage sandwich, no egg, no cheese, double patty. And it's fucking awesome, and that's what makes it vegan. And I get it all the time.
That's wild.
My girlfriend works at Dunkin' Donuts for context, so I'm not just going and spending like hundreds of dollars there. I swear.
Oh, you're getting that discount. I like it.
we picked up some of them like
Literally today after practice.
on the way home from band practice.
Anyway, vegan sausage is awesome. I'm the only one who's vegan, and I forgot to mention this, but I think I've converted our drummer, who is not here, but he's been eating vegan recently, which is cool.
I need to try to treat myself better, but I don't know if I could do vegan, man. Like, steak's just way too good. I'm sorry. So now you've dropped Interstice, and I'm saying it right? Interstice?
You are,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Interstice. Okay, you dropped Interstice back in February. According to Google, it means an intervening space, especially a very small one, which is spot on. Like, oh my god, it's so gross. Everything from like the chilling riff in Nas or Grasp, which is like my favorite song. I get that stuck in my head. I'll be going around the house and that'll come up. But everything from that to grooves and Inherent of Life. I'm sorry, I'm getting your song names mixed up. This makes me want to take a shower after I listen to it. Honestly, I don't know if you saw the meme I posted, where it's like me before listening to Knoll and me after listening to Knoll. I'm covered in mud. But yeah, listening to this makes me feel the same way I do after watching a really good scary movie like As Above, So Below. I don't know if y'all have seen that.
I fucking love that movie. Holy
Dude,
shit.
I showed them that
Fuck
one
yeah.
year actually.
Yeah,
Dude, it feels like the same,
we
man. That
watched it together.
claustrophobia, like it's so spot on. Actually, has me feeling the same way I did when I was listening to Meth Witch's album, Endwell. And I saw one of you guys wearing this shirt when y'all were playing your Slay at Home set, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, that's a fucking influence. I knew it. So I would assume that's an influence. What are some of your other influences?
Man, we've got a lot. I guess like everybody in the band will probably speak differently on it, but I guess like vocally, I'm always trying to emulate like John Chang and Dylan Walker and that crazy abrasive, like super high to super low kind of feeling, not a lot in the mid. Almost sounded like two different singers. But like musically, because I help write a lot of stuff. Like I fucking love Portal, Imperial Triumphant, Full of Hell, and like every lineage, like noise infused band is really big for me.
Before I saw like y'all's lineup and stuff, I totally thought there were two singers. Absolutely thought that.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
What about you guys, Drew and Lucas?
Yep.
What are some of your influences?
When I came into the band, I was listening to a lot of mathcore stuff, and I didn't contribute nearly as much as everyone else did to the writing of the record itself. But I did feel like a lot of the stuff that was already written really aligned with like stuff I was already listening to, in terms of like odd time signatures and funky rhythms and shit. Like I like grew up listening to like the Dillinger Escape Plan and Converge and Botch and shit like that before I got really deep into like grind and death metal.
Hell yeah,
And
man.
I feel like I'm influenced by both at this point. And
So you're saying that future Knoll material is gonna have some the Dillinger stuff going on then?
I feel like it gets a little bit I do think it gets a little mathier as we go on. Like we just
Yeah.
write a little bit more odd stuff, but there's definitely like a balancing effort to be had.
Right.
Also being around Pupil Slicer and talking to them all the time, just like getting in my brain.
That way
Yeah.
toward it more.
What about you, Luke?
During like interstice writing, even still now, but what was going through my mind all the time was the record Grievous by Convulsing. I will credit that as like my biggest influence, even still even more so for the writing of this new album. Because to be honest, I didn't have a lot of like riff input on interstice. I was just kind of the one to kind of give input on everything else that was going on, but definitely like the DIY attitude of like the band Orchid is a big one for me.
Scrams bands in general, I think have also been like really big for me vocally. Like trying to come off, erratic in my performance all the time and really infuse the emotion that I kind of feel like a lot of death metal might lack, even in the same vocal style. Like Jerome's Dream, you can just hear that dude like tearing his fucking throat apart, and I've always wanted to do that, but like for longevity,
I totally see what you mean. Yeah, a lot of death metal death metal vocalists, like they have like the lows and stuff, but it doesn't feel what's the word? I guess emotional, like kind of like what you were saying behind it. But yours like definitely sound like something was fucking wrong. Like,
thank you.
Colossus 0120 in the chat is commenting on Lucas's merch, repping the reserving Dirt Naps merch. I've never heard of this band before.
They are a band from Memphis, arguably the biggest one in the scene, easily the biggest hardcore in the underground. And the dude Brandon, their frontman, is kind of the one that like helped us out, like get us up and get us known in the Memphis scene. He like puts together so many shows out there. Just knows like every band out there, is the coolest dude, and just awesome hardcore music.
Look, I need to look into them.
Yeah, dude, for real, really great band.
You guys definitely have like this black metal tinge, but you don't list yourselves as black metal like on Bandcamp or whatever. Is that like something that y'all like noticed, or do y'all not think that y'all are black metal? How does that work out?
I noticed the influence for sure, but I don't think it's strong enough to warrant labeling ourselves as such, just because it's like
I'd agree,
sprinkled in kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we like to play like atmospheric like kind of stuff, like I guess evil tinged dissonant music.
It's definitely evil tinge, yeah.
Imperial Triumphant sometimes people call like a black metal band, and I fucking love that band, and I bring that in as an influence like every time we write. But I don't really find myself listening to very much straight up black metal, and there are so many metal musicians that share this sentiment in that they love like black metal fused into other genres. Like I love my fucking minor chord tremolo riff with a blast beat under it any day, but listening to like a full Burzum album is
dude,
just, like,
right? Well, Burzum aside, because we listen to him for other reasons, but exactly. I totally agree with you, man. Like 100%. Like you guys are sick, but I don't think I want to like sit down and listen to A Blaze in the Northern Sky or whatever.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's just not my thing. I mean, I really like, I'm not fucking Burzum, but I really admire like the mindset behind it and like the attitude that black metal gives off, and I guess we're definitely like influenced by it, but I would never call us black metal.
It's like even my favorite black metal albums, there's like probably 3 of them, and I can't even attribute them to being inspirations for Knoll at all.
Well, I think you guys could be Blackened Sludge Death Grind. How about that?
Yeah. Genre speak always gets so convoluted, but if we were to ever define ourselves with like 10 different genre words, Blackened would definitely be in there.
So what's the writing process like? Is somebody mainly directing it, or y'all just bringing in different things, seeing what works, what doesn't?
I kind of feel like it changes like per song. I don't know if we've hammered out something concrete yet. Like I try and define it all the time because, if you can know your writing process, like you can just refine it further, I guess. But we usually write in like sessions and like, chunks of songs at a time. So we get a lot done at once. But then when we come back to it, it's just completely different. I know when we were writing like a lot of the interstice songs, like I mentioned earlier, we took so long to figure ourselves out as musicians and like really become capable of playing the stuff that's on the record, because it's really technical on everybody's end, and it was super challenging. And when we were first writing those songs, before I feel like we could really accomplish our vision like physically, we had to just lay them out as we could and then come back to them later and rewrite it with kind of a fresh mind. A lot of the songs on that record, just like, I mean, we had that demo, Hymns from the Chasm, they're really fucking old. And we just had to revisit them again and again and, you know, make them perfect to our vision. And that took fucking forever. So it's a shit ton of revisions, or at least it used to be. Nowadays, I feel like when we write a demo for a song, it's a lot better off the bat, and we don't have to do as much to it, which I really like, because I've always valued like kind of improvisation in music, and just playing what feels right rather than overthinking every part, I guess. It definitely keeps changing though.
I like the way you were saying that, like the doing revisions and stuff like that. To me, I find on my like. I have a project, The Sound That Ends Creation, and some of my older albums I would go back to listen to now, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of shit. And I think it's because those songs get like stuck in my head, and I think since it's stuck in my head, it's a good song, but really it's just because I've heard it like a million times. So I think that might have benefited y'all a ton by being able to just step away from that material for a long period of time and then going back to it and making more revisions and stuff like that. It's probably worked out well for y'all.
Yeah, it's been a really fun thing to do. I'm also not like the only one who writes for the band, but like it's typically me and Evan, our guitarist. We come up with a lot of like the structures for the songs, and then and that varies always. Like I've written a shit ton of structures on like new stuff, like with just me and Drew. And I've been writing drums for the band for like a really long time, and that's just kind of what I feel natural at. And like nowadays we've got a new drummer, Jack, and like we're kind of co-writing everything right now, just because it's really hard for me to let go of my grasp on the drums. I guess having two drummers is in the band is really nice, and like also all of us play guitar, so everybody has got a lot of feedback on everybody's instrumentation, and it's just like a really conducive environment. I guess there's a lot of minds that kind of know what everybody is doing, and it helps.
So you wrote the drums and recorded them for Interstice.
I did, yeah. The future releases, I'm not playing drums on them at all, except for maybe aux percussion, but Interstice was all me, yeah. Okay,
that's interesting. Did y'all not have a drummer when y'all went in to record, or were you just like, fuck it, I know it all, I can just do
it? So we play like our local shows like before quarantine and stuff with another drummer, and he ended up leaving the band. That's like a whole story that we've definitely gotten into. Or actually, no, we kicked him out of the band. He did not leave. But
okay.
To be honest, he was really fucking sloppy, and I feel comfortable saying that. He was really sloppy, and I knew like months before we recorded, and kind of the entire time he was in the band, that I was gonna end up having to do drums for the record, because I had pretty much taught this dude like what to play like for the shows. And after he ended up leaving, I was just like, yeah, fuck it. There's no point in finding someone else to do it. I'm just going to do it myself, because I have the time to sit down and work out everything note for note. And I just kind of wanted to have control over it and get it as perfect as I could, because I knew that I would be able to put a shit ton of effort into it. So it was kind of out of necessity, but I'm really happy that I did it. It was a lot of fun.
Alrighty, you guys actually have a really good writing style, because y'all, some of them you have songs where it's like verse, chorus. Like you have times where it's like an actual song structure, rather than a lot of bands that are just like, I just want to do as many riffs that don't repeat as possible after each other. Like it actually sounds like y'all took the time to do it, and I mean y'all did. Y'all took like what is it, 3 years to write it, right?
Yeah, about. Yeah. I'd say like for serious writing it was more like 2, but yeah. I appreciate you noticing that. I like do, as much as I love like grindcore and death metal as much as anybody else, you know, I do like sometimes get tired of like, let's write a song that's D beat, blast beat, skank beat, and then repeat, you know. Like I want to write intense music, but I want it to be memorable. Like I want you to be able to like kind of replay our songs in your head and it be intelligible. And production is a huge factor in that. Like if it sounds like shit, it's harder to pick out, and you won't be able to remember it as well. So that was a huge priority for us going in for Interstice. Was just, you know, things need to be as clear as they can get while remaining chaotic, I guess.
Dude, that's an amazing transition, because we're just going to go over to the recording process right now. So you had this engineered by Andy Nelson at Bricktop Recordings. Then you got it mixed by freaking Kurt Ballou at God City Studios, and mastered by Brad Boatwright at Studio Audio Siege. Wow, that's amazing! Like, holy crap! what was it like working with these people?
Andy is such a delightful person, and he is a genius when it comes to recording arts. Like, that dude
Mm.
knows more than a lot of people.
Yeah, seriously talented guy. Go on, Drew.
He really brought out the best performances in all of us without being like too forceful or passive aggressive in any way. Like, he was very encouraging. Like when if we had to do like punch-ins or anything, like we messed up a take or something, he was just like, you can do that again. And we're just like, okay, it's fine. And it was really nice. And it was a really, really encouraging and positive experience. And we don't really want to work with anybody else for recording at this point, I don't think.
Yeah, I know the second record is most likely going to be with him. And yeah, I kind of can't see it any other way. Like, it was our first like real recording process, and it just immediately clicked with Andy. And again, like Drew was saying, he's just really encouraging, and he believes in us as a band, like for real. And you know, he gets what we're going for atmospherically, and he does everything he can to push that. I know when we came in, we had like a shit ton of like, I guess, auxiliary parts. Like there's viola on the record. It's on the 11th track. It's a noise track called Mir. But it's like this
is it just the noise that's playing?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a creaking oak tree.
Okay, all right. I was kind of wondering what the noise was y'all did, but I thought it would be just like samples or something like that. Okay. So you just took a violin or viola and just like messed it up or whatever, just like ruined it. Yeah. Just like broke it over some rocks and just like, you know, threw dirt on it.
Yeah, it was super interesting.
With a ton of reverb on it. Good stuff.
And I think the strings were like mega old, so they just sounded like decrepit already.
Yeah. One of them broke while I was playing, actually.
You can hear it on the tape. You can hear the string break.
That's awesome. I need to listen to that.
While I'm mentioning that, the final drum take I did for Fjord Peaks, the last song on the record, I break my stick because I'm beating the shit out of the cymbals at the end, and that thing flew, and I'm pretty sure you can hear it hitting my china or something like that. But yeah,
that's awesome.
I think there's a spot on the record you can also hear me like physically choking myself to get like a weird throat sound out, and that's pretty cool. I think it's in Impetus and Meyer.
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
There's that. But yeah, so Andy, like there was a shit ton of other stuff that we brought in. The first noise track, I'm hitting a fucking barrel, and it sounds like a monsoon on a tin roof. If you know it's a barrel, you can pick it out, and I'm hitting it with little sticks. And there's a bunch of other examples I can bring in because, you know, we just brought in a lot of weird stuff, and there's noise, of course. And he just really knew what to do, especially with that stuff, because it wasn't super planned, I guess, to, you know, make it sound as good as it could. But like as far as the riffs and drums and stuff like that, he didn't produce it, I guess. He didn't really like say, hey, sharp this, flat this, or anything like that. He just knew like when we were playing at our best and things like that. So it's kind of like the perfect balance, I think.
So you brought in a bunch of this weird stuff hitting on barrels and things. What made you think to do that? Because it's not exactly a norm.
I guess like the goal was just creating interesting textures in the studio. The noise tracks came out. We pre-produced the entire record and made a demo at home, but the noise tracks on that sound completely fucking different to what we ended up getting in the studio, and I love that. Yeah, I really wanted to leave them open to interpretation with whatever mindset we were in when we were recording them there.
So it was more like you saw a barrel in the room. It wasn't like, hey, let's bring this barrel because this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that's the question. No, we very much intentionally brought a barrel in. I honestly can't remember what the fuck my thinking process was with that, but we drove like 50 minutes to go pick up an oil drum from some dude. Actually, I have a fucking
what?
Really...
These two dudes we picked up the barrel from were interesting to say the least.
We show up and it's this like huge fucking dude in like overalls and like a neon yellow shirt, and he's like, "Hey, you guys here to pick up a barrel?" and he hands us like gloves, and there's a picture of it on my fucking Instagram, but he had like hundreds of barrels in his backyard that were all just like partially filled with oil or something. And I was really stupid, so I didn't bring like a garbage bag or anything to put the oil or to put the barrel in. And it had like holes in the side and shit, and there was oil in it that I didn't know about. And so we drive back to my house in my fucking Honda CRV, and the barrel is in the back, and it tips over, and it spills oil all in my fucking tire.
Oh my god, dude!
And you can still smell that shit if you open up the spare tire compartment in my car.
It's so fucking bad.
Dude, we had to sniff that the entire way to Chicago to go record. I'm sure we lost brain cells, and that's probably why the record is as gross as
That's
it
why I
is.
ended up beating on a barrel because you're over here high as fuck.
On the drive home from that barrel, I had to have keep my head like stuck out the window so I couldn't. 'Cause the smell was like really getting to me.
I think the viola though, the viola inclusion was like probably more deliberate, and like we had a focus mindset, like we need to put this on the song, you know,
Yeah.
like it was a texture. I don't know where it came from, but we just really wanted to have that in there, like incorporating weird instruments, or they're not weird, but like strings and horns and anything percussive, especially like, you know, industrial percussion, like any sheet metal I can find. A barrel is, you know, a great, like it's already it's an oiled drum,
Yeah.
you know. It's meant to be played. But yeah, we always wanted to put strings on the record. Mira was just a perfect canvas, I guess, and there will be horns on future material.
Oh, sick. That's what's up, man.
Yeah. Our guitarist Ryan, who's not here, is like a super good trumpet player, and we really wanted to use it on Interstice, but it really just didn't call for it. But there's something that we already recorded that has trumpet on it, and it's fucking disgusting. So I can't wait for people to hear it.
Dude, that's awesome. That is awesome. So what was it like working with Kurt Ballou and Brad Boatwright though?
I'm going to also take this question because I was like the only one fucking emailing Kurt because I had to get up at like 8 a.m. every day because we mix remotely. Like we recorded in Chicago and started mixing pretty. Actually, I think it was like a month after. But yeah, we
It's
weren't
like 3
gonna
weeks.
travel up. Yeah. It took a while for us to mix it after we got. I think it was just something with booking, but anyway. So we mixed remotely. I didn't go to God City or anything like that, though I would have loved to. He just had his studio closed for COVID, and so yeah, I had like a shared Google Doc with him, and he would upload a mix. And you know, he mixes analog, so we can't just kind of recall things and like change it on a whim. You know, he's got to print mixes every time he does it. It kind of goes above
Oh,
me.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And he works a lot with tape. I think he printed the final mix to tape. It's complicated.
Really?
Yeah, I always mix digital because I'm kind of learning, but
Well, I mean, you mix digital because that's what people do nowadays. This isn't like the 80s or whatever, right?
fucking wizard, like for real. I mean, Kurt is known for just being exceptionally good at what he does. So yeah, it goes above my head. But we had a shared Google Doc, and he would, you know, print a mix and send it to me, and then I just give him my notes. And something really funny, and I fucking love Kurt. He's a huge inspiration to me, like as a musician and an engineer. And I know like Drew and Lucas can say the same. And so I was kind of starstruck when this happened, honestly. I still get nervous talking to all of like the, I guess, high profile people that we talk to. And so Kurt like opened up the doc at the same time as me and deleted the text I was typing in reference to the mix and said, "I see you." It scared the shit. I was like, holy shit, that's fucking Kurt Ballou on the other side of the computer. He's a fucking, just a huge guy to me. So it was quite a moment. But yeah, working with Kurt was awesome. Just really straightforward, and all the mixes sounded incredible, which is, you know, why we went to him.
I imagine working with Brad was about the same.
Dude, working with Brad was hilarious because I sent him like 2 emails, and he sent us, I think, like 2 versions of the master. The first version that we got, I was like, can you boost the bass frequency in Loom of Wills, specifically during the parts that are like sub bass? And then he sent us that, and then it was done. And
Nice.
he was like, I'm really happy to be a part of this. Thanks. And I was like,
I've talked to a couple of people that have worked with him, and that's about the reaction that I get. He's just a real professional guy. Doesn't talk too much, but gets the shit done. You know.
yeah, dude, really fucking good.
So let's talk about your lyrics for a second. I think that's one of like the big elements that like drags you into this. It's like for a lot of bands, lyrics are kind of throwaway. You know, it's just like, oh, I need to say something here just to get the vocals out. But they're so well crafted. So I imagine that Jamie, you do the lyrics, right?
I do, yeah. I'm super insecure, so I bounce everything off everybody in the band, and I ask them if they like the titles. I ask them if lines stick out or are goofy, just to kind of adhere to our vision and make sure that we're doing everything the way we want to be. But yeah, otherwise I write everything.
Are you an English major? Because I swear, man, some of those words.
I spend a lot of time like what I like to, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely pulled out a thesaurus for like, because when you're trying to like, when you've got a 1 minute long song and a big message to convey, and you only have like a measure to get like a piece of the meaning out or something. You got to find the perfect fucking word, and there is nothing beyond a thesaurus that can help you for that. But I try and stay away from that and just be as naturally creative with it as possible. So I do a lot of reading on like, I guess, medical texts and like cosmology theses and stuff like that. And sometimes I find like words or terms that stick out, and then I just go down like a rabbit hole of researching that because it kind of conveys what I'm after. So it's like a lot of just reading in the topics that I'm interested about, I guess. I think like if I wasn't a consumer of art outside of the band, the lyrics would be nowhere like what they are now.
Well, the words you use, they're kind of like they're found in an old grimoire that was in like a crumbling necropolis or something like that, and that it's used to like summon Cthulhu or something. Just to give like listeners an idea, this is a segment from Loom of Wills. Luthier of innumerable arms, Anagolus Magnapinidae, composer Magnapinidae, composer of sorrows, wreather of marring weaves, abets the vassals, a net animus. What the heck? I know that a Magnapinidae is an octopus because I had to look that up, but yeah, I don't really understand the words you're saying here, man.
I think might be the most straightforward line on the whole album.
Actually, part of that song is in Latin. I've always wanted to incorporate some sort of like outside English language into the lyrics. So that song I think is the only one with Latin in it, and it's only partial. So that's probably why it's so fucking hard to read. That song specifically is and like uses a shit ton of like metaphysical metaphor to convey like the very real idea of like disconnecting yourself from, I guess, like theistic figures. And kind of abandoning the control that might have on you. So I use the metaphor of like squids with like infinite arms that I guess sort of puppeteer mankind is probably the simplest way that I can put it. It's complex imagery, and we had a shirt done around it. But yeah, dude, I'm really inspired by like, and I don't ever really want to write like Lovecraftian stuff or rip off anybody else's art. Like, this is a tangent a little bit, but I find bands like writing about video games or stuff like that. And as much as I love the bands that do that, I don't want to ever.
You want to come up with your own thing. Don't want to have to be like, oh, it's based off of this other thing.
Yeah. And something I love about like, I guess hardcore and punk is, they're always talking about like very real things to, the human experience. And I wanted to do the same thing with Knoll, but in like a little bit more of an indirect and artistic way of, using metaphor from religious texts or I guess ethereal shit like that, and just veil it a little bit. But there's certainly like in opinions and stuff that are interjected all over the record, albeit veiled for sure.
So what's like the overall like arc then for your lyrics? Like what's the overall message?
I guess for Interstice, it was a little bit different because there were like two different things that we were trying to accomplish. The record is like continuous from start to finish, and there's definitely like a lyrical motif when it comes to that. It's a little bit like worshiping sound itself. And the album title Interstice, as you mentioned earlier, is a gap, right? And so the record starts and ends with harsh noise, and the goal was to create a piece of music that represents as being a sonic force powerful enough to kind of override the mundane forces surrounding it, if that makes sense. The sound is like, I guess, a representation of like kind of the mundane forces that permeate everything. I guess it's largely metaphorical, but outside of like Interstice's notion, I think the lyrics they revolve around a lot of topics, but the main ones are probably like cosmology. I fucking love like theoretical physics shit, and I think it's incredibly relevant to everything that we do. I like to think as grand as I can. The songs sound big. I feel like it's fitting. And then there's nihilism because I don't like people. There's definitely like anti-religious shit, but also like just I don't know, weird existential questioning. I definitely like to kind of think in that realm. But also like I guess in newer stuff I'm veering towards smaller topics. Like we talked about being vegan earlier, and as much as I hate like preachy vegans, I'm definitely trying to incorporate like a little bit of like nature and preservation and highlighting, I guess, like the simpler and beautiful things that happen on Earth, rather than thinking like otherworldly and cosmic if that makes sense.
Wait, so we're singing about like rainbows and unicorns and stuff on the next one?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that there's something very nice, and this is one of my favorite things about Dylan Walker. He's like a fantastic lyricist. Is he paints these like crazy fucking pictures about like nature, and he just put out an LP with Sword Dream that's about like I guess like a jungle burning and like machines clattering in the forest and shit like that. And I just think it's really awesome. I love the focus on nature.
Oh, well, honestly, like I was saying, your lyrics are a huge part of what makes this like so terrifying, honestly, to listen to. Like I said, it just transports you right into like a horror movie. Like all the parts are so good together.
Thank you. So I put a lot of time into them, so I appreciate it.
Well, it shows, man. Like those words, dude. I don't even know how you come up with that stuff. Like Magnum Fide, or I don't even remember how to say it anymore. Dude, that's crazy. So your artwork. Who did your artwork exactly? And we're gonna be showing it on screen here.
Ethan McCarthy from Primitive Man, Vermin Womb, Many Blessings, and does art under the name Hell Simulation. Actually,
That's cool. I you know, now that you mentioned that, I kind of think I saw something that he did the art. Oh, nice. We got that LP there. That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
What is it exactly that we're looking at?
So when we initially reached out to him, we just kind of gave him a general vision of what we had. A few album covers, which we thought had a nice aesthetic, we were kind of also shooting for. We were just general fans of his art and thought that his style would very perfectly convey what we got. So we sent him all these lyrics and themes and whatever, and just told him to like go ham with it. And then he came back and gave us a handful of drafts, all of them very similar, just with minor differences. And then this is what we got, and I think it emulates the sound of the album perfectly.
What were some of the album covers you sent him? They need to do it similar to.
Ooh, I'm a huge fan of Mark McCoy. I mentioned Full of Hell earlier. He does all Full of Hell's art. Specifically, I think their last 3 LPs.
That is some cool art, yeah.
I sent him like a lot of black and white shit. We were definitely like kind of going for something grayscale, or if not minimal color. And I sent him some of his own album covers. And I sent him the cover to Immersion and I think Caustic, both by Primitive Man, and I sent him like Primitive Man did a split with Hell that's fucking awesome, and I sent him that cover. And then I sent him Swarth by Portal. And I actually think that was it. We didn't send him very much.
Were you aware that he was in Primitive Man before you sent him the albums?
Well, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All very big
huge
fans of like, all of his music.
That's awesome, man. So I see like the infinite like staircase thing going on. And you got this little statue and things. Do any of these like mean anything?
Absolutely. Especially the Infinistair, and that's not a visual concept.
Infinistair, I love that term. Oh my god.
That's like it's a fucking like weird like optical illusion term, I guess. Like, have you ever seen like people walking up those, and it's like, or like a marble running on
like
one?
the MC Escher painting.
Yes.
Yeah. Infinistair. So my sort of connection to that and the lyrics was just like, you think about like walking up a staircase in maybe like a Sisyphus kind of way, like. I guess it references like the incompletable natures of thought itself, which is definitely a topic on the record. It's just, you know, thought and striving for something greater, and whether or not that is, you know, actually attainable. And the record is definitely very negatives and paints it as if it is not. So an Infinistair as if like climbing it, I mean, you never can. So I guess that's kind of what it means to me. And then there's also a fucking door, which in the top right corner of the record, which I did not notice at first. Ethan put a shit ton of stuff in there. I didn't notice until he put it on the back cover.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, and it's got like an hourglass above it, which is fucking cool. And I think it kind of represents the same thing. There's a track on the record called Door to Moil, and I think that may be where he pulled it from. And that kind of represents the same thing that I was talking about earlier. And then I think otherwise, I'm looking at the cover right now.
You should show the back cover.
Yeah. Big ass fucking door on it. There's an hourglass right there, and a lot of people probably haven't.
Oh, okay.
I've looked at the actual like Photoshop files that he used and stuff, and there's a shit ton of like bacteria, microscopic like pictures just collaged onto the record, and I think it's fucking disgusting. Which like I really love, and there's definitely like some skulls and shit in there, and there's like a woman who's clearly in pain. I love things like that. people or beings kind of in agony, I guess is something that's I like in images, as kind of horrible as that is. It definitely conveys some unpleasant emotions. He did a really good job of conveying the feelings on the record.
That's sick. What about like all like the plants and stuff? Because at least it looks like you're in a forest or whatever. Is that like something y'all were shooting for?
I never really forwarded that to him, although I think there's a lot of songs on the record that reference kind of what I was talking about earlier about, like, themes around nature and just organisms in general and life, and I think he took from that and kind of put it in like a little bit of like a forest scene, which I really really like.
It all works. It all works really well.
I was so concerned when we were getting the art, like I just couldn't possibly conceive what it would look like listening to this record. Like before we had the art, I would listen to it and just obviously there's like imagery that comes to mind and stuff. And but yeah, I think the album art just makes sense with what you hear.
Yeah, it's really sick, man. He did a really good job. You've got a music video. Hold up, there we go. For Earth's Iron Lung, and it was put together by Frank Fong. Yep. I'm gonna play it real quick. How'd you hook up with him?
Ethan, actually. He put us in touch with him. We asked if he could do some sort of visualization thing, and we liked the visuals that he did for the Primitive Man music videos, and then he was like, oh, this is all Frank. I'll give you his email, and you can chat with him.
Straightforward, easy enough. Did y'all give him any direction, or was he just like, hey, this is cool?
It's almost
there was like some light direction. We just kind of gave him art assets and we're like, go nuts.
I love this work always. So
they got like weirder as he made them.
Yeah.
Like the first one was kind of just a visualizer using our art, and the second one was just a lyric video. And the third one, he just kind of did whatever the fuck he wanted with it.
I didn't see the lyric video.
I love it so much.
I think we're showing the last one now where he did whatever the fuck he wanted to.
Yeah.
But yes. I didn't see the lyric video for it. But yeah, man, this is really weird. Some of it looks like it's fucked up shit, but other things look like they're just like cartoons. I don't know.
So I actually know that I asked him what resources he pulled from. I have yet to watch them. I'm so fucking sorry, Frank.
Holy you haven't seen them yet, man? You're the resources. You haven't seen the resources. Gotcha.
I think he pulled from a movie and then maybe an anime. And I know the movie, or wait, no, it wasn't a movie. It was footage of a cult in Tokyo that was famous for like mass suicide in the name of religious enlightenment. And I think that's because I told him the direction about this song, which was, I guess, like kind of like a rapture and like the enlightenment of a few and the destruction of many, in kind of a religious sense. Or I guess a sort of epiphany, like a mass epiphany, and he took the footage from that and just went nuts with it. So there's literally footage of like mass suicides in there. I'm pretty sure you see it. Like there's like this scream I do at the end when the drums come back in after like a guitar only break, and it's right there, and it's.
I think we're looking at it right now, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I see it on my phone. Yeah. I think that's
super
the part.
messed up stuff, but like really cool in a weird regard.
Yeah, Frank did an awesome fucking job on that. And then Scattered Prism, which is the first video that he did for us, is like revolves around some of the geometric figures that we had done for the record that represent some of the meanings. And he used the shit out of that, and it was like kind of a geometric, like weird kaleidoscope video. So it makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, he did a pretty good job. So you guys play a lot of shows. Well, I imagine you did. And now you're not, but I imagine you're going to be getting back to it at least. What is your best show that y'all played so far? And I'm going to be playing like videos as we're talking. So.
Oh man,
this answer might be different for everyone, honestly.
Yeah.
The second to last show we played, which was with Sanguisugabog and a local band from Memphis called Breaking Entering. I think as a band, that was our overall best performance.
I agree.
Yeah.
We've come a long way, honestly, since like the pandemic started. Like we got an entirely new drummer, and frankly I think every show before that was not up to the band's vision and certainly not up to my standards, like because we were playing with the drummer that didn't really bother to learn the songs as I had written them on the drums, and now it's completely different. And I think our best show, even though it isn't really a show, is the Roadburn performance. If you want like the definitive Knoll live experience, that's definitely the thing to watch. That's what we're gonna be like when we're touring. So.
Okay. So you guys feel the same way though, that like back like previous performances weren't super great?
I mean, they were good. You know, we practiced and stuff, but I feel like they were definitely hindered by our drummer at the time.
Yeah, we all put as much as we could into those, but they still never really came out the way we intended them to, basically ever.
We always got good crowd feedback and good interaction, so I guess people enjoyed us, and I guess technically put on a good show. It's just not at all what we want to go for fully.
Yeah, I guess like back then it was really hectic and fucking loud, but nowadays it's a lot cleaner. I think we pull off a lot of the like complicated facets of the record better, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. What was your worst show?
Shit. Man, I'm gonna have to do some thinking for this one.
My own personal worst show was that I think it was the show with Beyond Creation.
I don't even remember that.
I was like sick as a dog. Like,
I'm not sure y'all really fit with Beyond Creation. That's an interesting bill.
No, not Beyond Creation. Who was it? It was some tech death band.
Was it? Oh my god!
I left immediately because
Inanimate
I was
Existence
feeling
was
so
that
sick.
show.
I was like sneezing all over myself the whole show. I was like shivering.
I've hopped my fair share of loogies on this stage.
So, like, I just felt terrible. I went after the show. I was like, all right, I need to go to bed. So I just immediately.
Dude, shows pre-pandemic were such a fucking trip. There were so many of them where we played until like midnight or something, and then I had to go to work at like 4 a.m. like because I worked at a fucking pool. I never slept. It was nuts. I think the worst show. I guess it's like when you're defining a worst show, it can be either about the performance or the like every fucking thing else about it. Like we've definitely had some weird shit happen to us.
Dude, we got time. Tell us some stories.
Fucking, there was this one guy that pulled up in like a convertible or something behind the venue, and he's like, I can't remember exactly what he looked like, but fucking crazy, like tall and lanky and wearing some kind of suit. And he's like, I'm affiliated with a major record label and I want to make you guys a music video. And it was just like really fucking weird. He never gave us any contact information. Obviously, we did not give a shit because he was just being really fucking strange. But like, yeah.
He left as quickly as he came.
Like, come to my house. It's out in the middle of nowhere. No one can hear you scream. Like, all right.
That drummer that we played with, we played our the first single on Interstice. Like the only other time that we've played it live, he fucking butchered the shit out of it. It was like unreal. Because that I think that's our song. That's probably the mathiest. Like it's got I think like 6 different time signatures in it or something, and he just like kind of refused to learn it. I think it made him angry. I think it made him angry that we even wrote it to be like that. So. We definitely got like way off time, and everybody else in the band is such a fucking trooper for just ignoring that and playing the song as it should be, even though the drums are like derailing. But I can't fucking do it. Like if the drums are off, I'm just gonna stop singing and I'm gonna stare at the fucking drummer. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So shout out Drew, Ryan, and Lucas for being really
dude, like whenever something like that happened, we would just keep playing.
Yeah, we would just have to,
and just like try and stay with time with each other.
Like, are we doing the right thing? Is this correct?
Dude, there were definitely a couple times where he just completely forgot the fucking songs, and I would just have to turn my noise board on. We would have to pretend like we were just like doing like a drum solo or something chaotic. You can definitely find it on YouTube. It's
that awesome, was.
But
damn, dude, that sucks, man.
Yeah, dude, I want everybody to know that the Knoll experience when we're back to live shows is going to melt faces. I'm really excited with how we're sounding as a band currently. So.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just showed your Slay It Home set. Is that like how y'all are gonna be live with like that light with like shapes and shit on you?
Oh yeah, it's that's a projector. It's actually like beside me, but it's plugged in. Yeah, so we projected like parts of the visualizer for Scatter Prism onto our drummer and me. Probably that's definitely not how it's gonna be live.
Oh, dude, that'd be so sick, man. Y'all should totally set that up.
Get a fucking I don't know. Maybe at small venues we could project some shit over us. That'd be really cool. I love like what Spectral Voice does. They just play with fucking candles. Like I love like dark, foggy shows. I think if like that visually for real adds to the fucking atmosphere, we'll probably be doing something like that.
Buy some fog machines, man. Get that going.
We've got one. Yeah.
Don't need to tell you that. Alrighty.
We won't be on like the same level as like a Street Sex live show, but.
Oh my god, that do Do you know what they're like live?
No.
That band is
They
dude,
fill the room entirely with fog and just have like strobe lights going, and like you can't see even a foot in front of you. It is like, and the vocals will just like come in and out at you, and then like you won't know what's going on, but it's the coolest live experience
Yeah.
I've ever been a part of.
They also bring out a chainsaw, like a legit fucking chainsaw, and you never know
Okay.
where, because you can't see fucking anything. Seriously, probably one of the best live bands I've ever seen.
He's
Absolutely.
like, dude, I totally thought I was gonna get hit with a chainsaw, but I'm here, man. It was awesome.
If you ever have the chance to check them out live, fucking like do it. Ignore everything else. Like they're just, it's such an insane experience. It's terrifying. It was a 15-minute long set, and I thought I was there for an hour.
They did a show, or they did a tour with Meth back in 2019. And I so wish I could have seen that.
I love Meth so much.
We're
Man.
showing your Roadburn set right
The
now,
band, yeah.
and I see the Methwood shirt, and it's fucking awesome that you guys are representing that. Drew, I feel like I was cutting you off there for a minute. What were you saying?
Oh, I was going to talk about some of my really bad experiences with shows. So for like the first 3 months I was in this band, I had a really shitty pedalboard power supply that would turn off like every song, and I'd have to like plug it back in. It was it was that wasn't the only thing that was broken though, because yeah, for like our first couple of shows, that would if you accidentally like wiggled a power cable too hard, like with your foot or something, like Jamie would accidentally like step on it and unplug it all the time. And I would completely lose sound for like 30 seconds at a time every couple minutes, and nobody noticed somehow.
Because it was so
Any of the
fucking
times that it
loud.
happened,
Yeah,
it
we
was
always
too
just
fucking
heard it.
loud. But like, and
Venues
I
are so tiny, so
yeah, but like I finally got a new power supply like 3 months in, and then like I think like the first show I used that power supply, I broke my guitar.
yeah.
Wait, no, I still have it. Can I show it?
Dude, go for it.
Do it.
Okay, yeah. So
I have something to add real quick while he's grabbing it. The Sanguisugabog show that we were talking about, they were moshing like crazy, and I used to have a noise board that was a locker door set up on top of a keyboard stand that I put all my pedals on. Somebody decked the shit out of it, and it flew everywhere, like pedals and cables all over the floor.
Jesus.
yeah. Okay, so
One more
here
comment
it
on
is.
that real quick.
The headstock is completely gone. I think I lost it at this point.
I have it.
I don't know where it is. Oh, you
I
have
fucking
it?
have it. Like,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
This is
Yeah.
in your
So
trophy case, like.
the two pieces of this the two pieces of this guitar are now separated by like 200 miles. But yeah. So like we opened for Negative Approach in November 2019, and we were first on, and like I had a lot of energy that set, and it kind of worked against me, because I thought it would be really fucking cool to like throw my guitar back on stage at the end of the set when we like at the end of our sets we would play Fury Peaks, the last song on the album, and like we would at the very end we would like hang on that octave below on the low A for a while, and I thought it would be so fucking cool if it like turned my reverb on and just fucking threw it on stage. But I forgot that guitars are more fragile than I think they are, and it just came off. Like it didn't feel like it snapped or something, because like it looked normal when I went back on stage to pick it up, but like when I picked it up, the headstock just like fell off.
like
And I
dangling
was
by
like,
the shit. Thankfully, that was at the end of the set. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
yeah,
I watched that whole thing unfold, and I was just like,
it was.
aw.
It's very funny now. I only paid like $200 for this guitar, but I also only had it for like 2 months before I did that.
Thankfully, we've learned. Like, definitely no more throwing guitars, and I have since built a way sturdier noise board out of like salvaged material, and it's all bolted together. And
Well, I
shit.
think that's what we see on this. I wanted to actually see if I could get it back up on screen.
Yeah, it's in like the middle of the set.
Oh, I just saw it. I thought right here.
Yeah,
There's, like, a
I'm looking
whole
at it right
picture
now.
of
You'll
Jamie,
probably have to
like-
rewind like
There is a camera
Oh,
angle
there it
for
is, there
that
it is,
board.
There it is. There it is. This thing, right?
Yup.
Yeah.
What are we looking at exactly? What is all this stuff?
So that's like, if you're familiar with like a lot of noise music, a lot of it is like feedback loops of you take a mixer and you run one of the main outputs of it through a bunch of pedals or like synths or whatever, and then you run it back into the mixer in an input, and you turn the gain all the way up. Or actually, you can vary the gain, but so it's just a feedback loop that runs through a bunch of modulation and distortion and stuff, and it sounds fucking disgusting. A lot of people like just run a synth through pedals into a mixer and then out into the PA, but I'm really big on generating noise like as electricity rather than something that's like kind of pre-made from a synth, if that makes sense. And that's like another reason why we don't use any samples, and that even connects back to like interstice sort of being an honor to sound itself. Is I just want to have it create there in a loop as like raw electricity and power, if that makes sense.
Like organic, not
exactly
inorganic.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
gotcha.
a way better word for it. So yeah, it's all feedback loops.
That's
yeah,
crazy,
and-
man.
yeah.
A huge setup
it's really
for just
fun.
like some noise.
Yeah, dude, that board is made out of 4 locker doors that I stole from a textile mill. I didn't really steal it because it's abandoned and decrepit anyway.
We don't want you admitting to crimes on the stream here.
I didn't steal it. It was free for the taking.
I'll drop the location.
And I bolted them together and then mounted it to Gibraltar like drum hardware that people used to like rack or mount toms and stuff like that. And so I didn't do it in the video. I'm definitely gonna be doing it at live shows when I hook up some of my chains and like noise instruments and springboards and stuff like that. The board itself like rotates that way, and I'm definitely there's handles on it, and I'm going to be throwing it around, and everything is like velcroed down, so it's gonna look really nuts, and everything will be rattling, and it actually like I don't know what the fuck it does to like the circuits or whatever, but I swear I'll only have the feedback loop on, and if I like bang the board, it makes crazy sounds. It's really cool.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
It looked like you were also on like a fucking like what do you call not a timpani. You're on some weird ass drum here in the beginning.
A floor tom, yeah.
Oh, so it's just
there
it's just a floor tom. Okay, looked like a classical instrument of some kind.
There's 2 songs on the record, Grass and Wills, that actually use aux percussion, and I used like an 18-inch floor tom in the studio to do that, and that's kind of what makes the percussion sound so thick on those tracks. And I do it live. I'm like, a lot of people, A, probably won't know who this is, and B, will like shame me. But Anders Kolsefny, he was the first frontman for fucking Slipknot, and I was like huge into early Slipknot, and that dude wears like crazy leather garb and never plays with a shirt, and he was like always hitting aux percussion while he was singing. He's just a madman, and I saw that when I was like 14, and ever since that I've always wanted to do aux percussion while singing, and it's definitely a big thing for Knoll, and we're gonna work it in like in the future as real like choreographed parts with I guess like 2 complicated drum things going, and it's gonna sound really intense.
I love the description of never wears a shirt. But honestly, I didn't know that there were 2 frontmen for Slipknot. I never knew that the guy existed.
Yeah,
That's crazy. I'm learning things.
Yeah, he was in there before Corey Taylor, but who fucking cares about Corey Taylor?
So what was your weirdest show?
I've got a quick story about that singer Super Bowl.
Go for it.
The band breaking and entering. I
Yeah,
could end it
go
there,
on.
but I'm gonna keep going. But they are insane in like the best way. Memphis Power Violence, like ridiculous dudes. They're awesome. But so they really value intense live performance, and so their drummer, like in between songs, would just like hurl a drumstick as hard as he could in the audience, and one like
Jesus.
almost hit Jamie in the face and barely missed it. But after their set, during the Singer Sugabog set, their vocalist found a mop and just starts like running into the pit, like mopping the floor and attacking people with a mop.
Because there was beer all over, like
Yeah, there's
at
beer
the-
everywhere. So he was like kind of doing a service while also getting some damage in, you know.
That's actually.
And-
Oh, that wasn't the first time he did that. I was at another show where he did that,
Oh,
like a month before.
And Brandon from fucking Reserving Dirt Naps, who put that show together, had to come and fucking take the mop from him and kicked him out. And Brandon, like for context, you do not fuck with this dude. I mean, he's so fucking nice and huge player for the scene, but he's like 6'7". There's a story about him like getting crushed or like getting shoved into a wall in a mosh pit, and he left a quote Brandon-sized hole in the drywall, like an enormous 6'7" like body was just clearly there. Brandon's a fucking G.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, the guys from Breaking and Entering like literally beat the shit out of each other to other people's sets. I mean, they won't crowd kill anybody else, but it's just as terrifying watching them punch each other in the face. Also, to add, they wear ski masks when they play.
Yeah.
Really crazy band.
No face,
No face, no case, baby.
That's great. That's great. Oh my god. So what was your weirdest set or weirdest show you played? Some of the ones we've had are people like playing in ice cream shops. Had one band play in front of 5th graders at an elementary school. You have anything weird like that?
We played a Halloween show, and someone had an inflatable poop emoji costume and was like walking around in the pit. So
that was Jeff.
An inflatable what?
Like poop emoji costume.
Oh, poop emoji. Okay.
Yeah, and we like put angry eyes on it. He was the murder turd.
What the fuck?
It was like an actual Halloween party, like a costume party. So we all like sort of had costumes.
Yeah, Drew
like
was
me,
dressed
Lucas,
up
and
Mario. Yeah.
I was Swimsuit Mario from Super Mario Odyssey, so I had no shirt on and I was wearing swim trunks.
I used to have like really long hair, like down to my shoulder blades, I guess, and I shaved my head for various reasons. I fucking hated it. But I was dressed. I had like fucking black metal makeup on and shit. I think I was dressed up, or my makeup was like Abbott, but done terribly. And then somebody put fake blood all over me. I did not do that. Someone from the crowd spurted it all over my body, and I of course was like half naked. Playing that show.
Of course, sure, yeah.
Our drummer did not participate. Oh yeah, wait, no, Lucas played in a fucking like cloak and like
a faceless mask. I was like, oh, I'm gonna look scary. Ended up just like falling off, and then like mid-set, I was like, this is too hard to play, and ripped it off.
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, like halfway through that set, I like brought a Mario hat and I threw it into the crowd and it was immediately thrown straight back to me. And I was like, what the fuck?
Like real deal.
It was like a fucking boomerang. And I was like, okay.
That was probably our weirdest show, but also like one of the most fun because everybody had like 4 beers.
Yeah, and like the pit was going on the entire song, even to the song Grasp, which you were saying you loved.
No, people were
like,
yeah.
I think is an awesome melody.
How do you mosh to that at the beginning? Like, exactly. I mean, it's cool, but
I don't know.
Like,
that crowd did not stop moving, and I was definitely like getting way. I broke the fucking mic at that show. I feel so bad about it, but also not because it was like a $20 mic. Because I always love like running in the crowd, especially if there's a stage. I will pull a Dillinger and walk on people's heads if I can. But like, I remember I was like running into the crowd during the breakdown to Impetus and Meyer or something, and wait, no, it was the opening to Earth Siren Lung, which is I love playing that fucking song. And I definitely broke the mic while being stuck in the crowd.
You
nice.
You ran in there
yeah.
for a solid like 10 seconds.
I just started screaming into the air after that. I could hear myself. I don't know.
Another thing about that show, the entire floor was wet.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean,
and
that's what happened.
most of us weren't wearing shoes.
Someone kicked over the fog juice by the fog machine, so like that whole part of the floor was just like disgusting and sticky. That was terrible. And that was where I was standing, of course.
Of course, yeah. Deadbird Disco says Jamie should get a wig. I don't know, I like him like this.
He actually still have a lock of his hair downstairs.
It's
like,
gross.
Throw a hanging plant, and we just kind of forgot about it. And every now and then we just see it, and we're like, "Oh yeah, what's up, Jamie's hair?"
It's a really fucked up thing. I never really realized it's so fucked up until other people were like, "Why the fuck is that hanging from the ceiling?" And I know
hanging from the ceiling. What the fuck?
Yes, it's hanging from the fucking ceiling above where we ship our merch. I'm getting it out there now. It's fucking hilarious.
It's like I never think about it. I see it, I'm just like, "Oh, all right." Anyway, about my day.
Alrighty, moving on. So you guys did Slay at Home also and Roadburn. Are those only festivals, online festivals that we're a part of?
Yeah.
Yep.
How weird is it pre-recording your set?
It's so much fucking fun.
Yeah,
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really fun.
Is
I was
it
like
more
nervous.
like just like a jam session then, or like how does it feel? Because it can't possibly feel like a live show.
Nah, but I definitely
No.
like psych myself up. I have to, you know. I pretend that the cameras are fucking streaming or something, because in order to play our music properly and get it off the way that I want to, I have to go as nuts as I can, so I pretend there's people there.
Is this how you guys are at every practice? Like, it's this intense?
No. Sometimes I sit down and do vocals because I suck.
So, random question. How do you guys dress your hot dogs?
Dude,
I know you're a
used to
vegan, so there's that, but...
I eat veggie dogs recently. I started having like tofu dogs for dinner. And those are fucking awesome.
It sounds awful.
It's I think it's fucking great. I eat tofu every day for like most of my meals actually.
Just puts a carrot on one.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a ketchup and mustard guy.
How about you guys, Lucas True?
I am not a hot dog eater.
Oh, when you do though.
Yeah.
But theoretically, I'm gonna put something like putrid on it, like
Vegemite.
Vegemite. I'll try that. I'll do that right now.
We have Vegemite in the house. Drew, what about your hot dogs?
Yeah, hot dogs are a rarity for me, but I usually like only use mustard on them, and that's it.
Okay, I like that. Simple man with simple values. I like it.
Can't get behind it, but I respect it nonetheless.
Cricket Slams in chat says that tofu's actually pretty good. Still don't believe you. Not gonna try it.
It's pretty good.
You gotta try. Okay, the thing about tofu is it's totally about how it's cooked. Like salt, pepper, turmeric, fucking bake the shit out of it, or you can get it in stir fry. Holy fuck! Like, if you've never had tofu before, go to like a Thai place and get a stir fry with fried tofu. You will love it, I promise.
I feel like I might have actually had it. Is that fake crab stuff? Is that tofu?
No, fake crab is fucking disgusting.
That's not tofu?
No, it's not.
Oh,
fake crab is just horrible.
Yeah, I haven't had it in a long time. So you guys are pretty young. I was wondering like what age you guys are.
Good
Is
question.
like college?
Yeah. I'm 19.
I'm 20.
Yeah, Jamie and I are 19.
Okay.
Evan is 20. Ryan is 18. And Jack is 24. Is he?
23.
23.
Damn. Did y'all meet in high school or something then?
Yeah, I was 15 when we started.
I've
Really?
actually known
Holy shit.
I've known Ryan since he was literally born. Like, my family and his family have been like family friends for as long as I can remember.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's wild.
What did your like friends think of y'all starting this kind of music like back in high school?
Literally everybody in the band is my friend. Like, you know,
Well, the other people then, the other kids and stuff, were they hyped about your music, or were they just like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
All my friends were so supportive. Even they would even be like, I don't really particularly enjoy it, but like, it's awesome. And they'd like come see shows, even though they despise listening to this kind of stuff.
That's
yeah,
sick, man.
honestly, like when I was in high school, like not to be a fucking Debbie Downer, but I did not have a lot of friends because I fucking hated the people that I went to high school with, dude.
You did go to a pretty terrible high school.
Yeah, it fucking sucked. But Knoll were like for real, like the first fucking friends that I made like freshman year, and that was the group that I hung out with, and I just kind of adopted like Lucas's friend circle. So I have the same answer.
Yeah.
That's not...
Dude, my friends were so fucking excited about me joining Knoll, and like they would come to shows and shit. My best friend Max came to like almost every single show I played with them. Like,
Yeah, dude.
In those 6 months.
That's sick.
He's ride or die for real.
Shout out Andrew Boone. He's this fucking this dude that Lucas went to high school with. He's been to almost every single one of our shows and just helps us load gear because he's fucking awesome.
He owns every single piece of merch we have. I don't know if this. No, we've talked about it publicly before, but he like spent $200 something on a single merch order, and we immediately called him and we're like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you?
And then he filmed himself wearing every single shirt.
And then like took
and just taking them off one by one.
Stream Knoll.
Dude, that's a fucking guy right there, man. Holy crap.
He made me a cheesecake with our logo on it. He works at a bakery, so.
That's awesome, man. Holy shit. Speaking of that, you guys have been taking off in terms of success. Like, your streams look pretty insane. What's like the biggest piece of promotion you guys have done? Like, what do you think is like one of the biggest drivers of your success? Besides the music, obviously, but you gotta get like the name out there, you know?
Honestly, Roadburn right now.
Well, before Roadburn, even y'all seem to be like popping off. Maybe it's because it got announced on Roadburn, but you guys have like been popping off for a while.
Has done.
There
so
were
much.
two things I think that sort of made it sort of blow up in a way. The first thing was that we premiered at number 3 on the 2021 chart on Rate Your Music, which
That was big.
It did happen.
we got hundreds of ratings that weekend, literally.
Oh, yeah,
And then somebody sent it to Anthony Fantano and he tweeted about it.
Oh, nice,
And that was
dude.
that was really surreal.
That I woke up and read that and was like, is
Dude,
this
that's fucking
real
sick.
thing that just happened?
Is he gonna do a review?
Probably not.
It was over a month ago now.
Oh, okay.
He caught the album like a couple weeks after it was released, so I think it was like too late for his schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that he will tweet out a lot of like metal bands. Well, not a lot, but some metal bands. But he never does reviews for them, which really sucks.
It is kind of unfortunate. Yeah.
He did the
Fucking
same thing with
sucks.
Pupil Slicer.
Yeah, he did the same thing. So it seems like this should have been picked up by a label. Like this is like a massive record that it should be bigger than it is, I think. But you guys self-released. Did you plan on self-releasing, or did you just not get any label interest?
Funny story.
We did get a lot of or we got some label interest. Like Prosthetic, I think definitely wanted to take it off our hands, but by the point that we got that offer, like I handled most of the pressing stuff with Lucas. We were just kind of way too deep in it and it had invested like so much of our finances in the record already. This is something that I've talked about a few times, but I was fortunate enough to be in the position like when we were really financing the band where, you know, like I was living with my mom when I was in high school, and I worked like a well-paying like pool job. I taught swim lessons and lifeguarded, and I just saved up for like fucking forever. Just because I knew like recording with Andy and mixing with Kurt, you know, and getting art done by Ethan, it was also going to be really expensive, and we wanted to go as big as we could. So, yes, I spent a while saving, and like at that point, like, what is the point of a cash advance from a record label? You know, when we kind of learned along the way that we just know how to do everything ourselves when it comes to releasing a record. Like, obviously, there's things that a record label could probably do better. But
yeah,
I
like
think
a promotion and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, and distribution for sure. Like, that's a big thing. But when it comes to like financially doing the record or like them handling the vinyl pressing, I just kind of don't see the point. And we have been doing like just the DIY shit ever since we kind of came up. The next few releases are probably also going to be DIY. I know the next release for sure is. We're pressing it ourselves. We're doing all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I guess it was kind of out of necessity because again, we didn't have a lot of label interest, and part of that is due to how we reached out about like to labels. I was literally talking to Becky about this like last night. When we emailed a bunch of labels, and I mean like we emailed a shit ton, save for Relapse because they don't have a submission page because they're Relapse and they're huge. But we emailed like Closed Casket, and actually Lucas will probably know this list better than I do.
It was like Closed Casket, Tank Crimes, Profound Lore, or not Profound Lore, Southern Lord.
Mm.
I don't know, just that.
Yeah, a lot of
I have a
labels.
list somewhere, but it was like 10,
Didn't we email Maggot Stomp?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we would not fit, but you know, it's always worth reaching out. You know, so Prosthetic was the only one that answered because. One, they're incredibly nice people, and they had faith in us because they liked our record. They're probably the only ones that listened to it. We also emailed $20 Spin. That's another one. I love $20 Spin. But when we emailed them, we were like, "Hey, we have this record. It's already being pressed." Meaning that, like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, it's already being pressed, and we want to put it out like right now, like with no promotion or anything. We literally were like. And we emailed them like early October or something like that. We were like, we want to put it out on Halloween. Of course, it ended up coming out in February. Thank you, Becky, for fucking saving our lives and helping us promote it. I love Becky. She's a hero.
Why'd you want to put it out so freaking fast, man?
We didn't know what the fuck
we were just excited.
I think, yeah, we were just really fucking excited about having
everybody's
to.
gonna hear it now. Like,
yeah, we there was like this stupid fucking notion that we had in our heads, like people have been waiting on our music for forever. But the audience that we had, like from our demo that was actually waiting on music, is nothing compared to the audience that you get from properly promoting a record.
Right.
You know?
absolutely.
So yeah, we needed to promote the record, and so Steve from Prosthetic replied and was like, all right. I think first he called us and was like, what do you actually need from a record label? And then it was at that moment that I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, but we've since figured it out. Yeah, Becky's helped us out a lot. So.
Well, that's awesome, man. I'm glad she talked y'all out of releasing it immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even I was thinking about that this morning. Like, what would our timeline be like if we just had done that? Like, we probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, you put all this effort into getting these people to mix and master your shit, and spent all these years. It would have sucked if y'all had just thrown it out there,
Yeah. I'm
Not
really glad we didn't.
Justice whatsoever.
I will throw one more thing out there is that we're definitely still open to sign. Like the DIY ethic of the band is always going to be there, but you just can't turn down
I was gonna say, man, if Prosthetics interested, dude, you should definitely sign with them.
Yeah, I won't say too much because I don't know. I don't.
Hey, I gotcha.
But fucking yeah, it might happen. Something.
So you have been talking second record this whole interview. How far along are y'all?
I'll just go. 4 songs. We've
Yeah.
got a good chunk of it done. I won't say what we're shooting for, lengthwise, I guess, but yeah, we've written a good chunk of material toward it, and we kind of know the direction that we're going, and it is. A lot of people are gonna maybe be shocked by this, but it's a lot darker than Interstice so far. I think it plays on. I mean, I just listening to it. I think it sounds even grosser.
Nice.
I'm really excited about it.
One thing that I do like about y'all's style and stuff is how y'all do the 2 or 3 minute long songs and keep it nice and concise and get straight to the awesome parts. Are y'all still doing that in your next one, or are we getting long?
Yeah, I think there's maybe on this record there might be even less I guess I wouldn't
you don't have to say too much about it. Yeah.
Filler, I guess. And I wouldn't say there's really filler on Interstice because I love everything on there. The noise tracks need to be there. For the atmosphere of the record, but I'd say we're definitely focusing on making it leaner and adopting the elements from Interstice that really made it special and expanding on them and making sure that it's continuously engaging and heavy, and extreme and inventive, I guess, in whatever way we can.
I really like hearing that. There's a lot of bands that do this kind of style, and they just have these 6 minute long songs, 7 minute long songs and stuff, and it's hard to keep up the same attention in this kind of music for that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
really
dude.
Kind of look at it what do we need in the song, and when we go back and revise, is this necessary? Do we need something else here?
Yeah.
We don't stress about song length at all. It's just whatever comes natural while writing.
Right.
I personally take a lot of influence from and from fucking Nails. You hear Todd Jones speak and he's always talking about cut the fucking fat of the song, just write the awesome riff and get out. And even though we're
That's good advice, man.
Band, I fucking live by that. Just write the awesome part and don't put any of the bullshit in there,
Dude, I like that.
But another thing to mention about the record is or the second record. We're trying to put that out next year, so I won't say again, I won't say release date or anything, but we're gonna try and record it in December, January-ish. So really hoping to put out a strong follow up and immediately hit the road as hard as humanly possible. After that, I feel there's a lot of bands doing that right now. They put out a record in COVID time, and to kind of recoup, you got to put out something right after to keep that energy going. And we just want to be a prolific band anyway. So yeah, there's that.
Oh hell yeah, man! You guys got Big Cartel as opposed to just putting out things on Bandcamp. Why do you have this split?
I think Lucas and I decided that a little while ago. I mean, Bandcamp, it's got the whole revenue share crap. It's just kind of a better business decision, I guess. I would hope that people.
So Big Cartel doesn't take something out?
Nah, I mean, you have to pay $10 a month or something to have 50 items up on your store at one time. But
really, I didn't know that. Yeah. Holy shit!
Yeah,
man,
so it does charge a fee to host your store, but that's it. It's way less money than Bandcamp would take.
Yeah,
from you.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I was even reluctant to put the records up on Bandcamp, frankly, but there's so many people that will listen to it on Bandcamp and discover it there. And if they don't see buy now, they will not buy it. And we ultimately have to survive as a band. I hate thinking about money because it doesn't fucking matter. It shouldn't matter in an ideal world. But you have to think smart sometimes.
Yeah, true. So you guys have tapes, shirts, vinyl, CDs, stickers, and patches. Well, you have anything you can show us?
Yeah, I can actually show off the squid shirt, Loom of Wills.
Hell yeah, man.
So we got this design, which was done by the dude Digital Sorcery over on Instagram. He has done 3 of our shirts now. He awesome dude to work with, and
That's fucking sick.
We got the Magna Pina Day playing the harp there.
Yeah, that's for real.
And this is another shirt of his that he did. This is the shirt for Grasp.
Yeah, I actually he did the art for that, and then I ended up putting all the text in format.
He did a pretty awesome layout job here.
Nice.
We got this one in like blue and black ink, which is super sick. We couldn't decide which one was cooler.
I like the blue ink one. The blue ink
both.
We spent an entire day like talking about what color should this be, and we just went
Dude, we have like the sickest fucking merch drop incoming. We got hoodies on the way.
Oh shit!
All right. Fucking sick, dude. This is the shirt that Ethan did for us. It's got like some really fucking tight artwork, and the lyrics for Lambent Urn are on the back, and he's a wizard. I love his art style. Had to have him on a shirt. So.
When's the merch drop happening?
I don't really know yet. We're waiting on our print guy to get back. But literally, as soon as we get that shit, we're putting it online.
And all this is available at knollgrind.bigcartel.com. Sludge Lord is doing some distribution in the UK. Is that correct?
That is true. Yeah. I think the LPs and the CDs are actually sold out in Europe, and a shit ton of people from He's just got tapes now, and we have a share of tapes that we got from him that are also in our store. It's like another variant with a slipcover that's really cool.
The link in the
fucking a shit ton of people during Roadburn were like, where can I get this LP shipped to the Netherlands because it's so fucking expensive from the US? And I'm like, I'm sorry, the LPs are sold out through Sludge Lord. So
yeah, somebody ordered from us, and it cost $22 to ship it to him.
Yeah,
it's freaking crazy, man.
I wish that we could ship cheap, but UPS has just hiked their shit during COVID. It's literally $26 to ship an LP to like Europe.
Oh yeah, even like USPS is like the same thing. It's so expensive. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, dude. I wish we could charge less. I want to get our music to as many people as fucking possible, but unfortunately, we just can't afford to pay for all the shipping ourselves because we would lose so much money and just collapse.
One thing I've noticed, I'm not sure how many people actually do this, but I ship like if you have like a shirt or whatever, I ship it as a large envelope under what is it? International First Class International is a large envelope, and it's way fucking cheaper than shipping like as a package.
I do the same shit.
Hell yeah.
And like, don't tell UPS, but fucking every fucking time we get like a shirt and an LP ordered in the same order, I tuck the shirt like around the LP and put it in the vinyl mail. And I only say that there's a vinyl in there and count it as media mail because the shirt fucking disqualifies it and makes it like a $10 shipping versus like $3 for media mail.
Absolutely. So what was the last album you guys listened to?
Dude, Roadburn actually has turned me on to a shit ton of stuff. There's this awesome like psychedelic prog rock album by Chiron Ursa. I'm not sure if their name is actually Chiron or Chiron Ursa, but it's IRSE. KAIRON and then Ursa. And I can't remember what the fucking album is called, but it is so sick, and it's the one with On Bat None on it, and it's really cool. Other than that, I last listened to Portal. I love Portal.
My most recent record is I've been on such a like doom metal kick, and Weed Eater specifically. I listened to Godluck and Goodspeed this morning.
Dude, Weed Eater's sick, man.
One of my favorites for sure. Like I wish I had that dude's voice, but I don't drink enough whiskey.
Or enough cough syrup.
What about you, Drew?
I've listened to Ultra Pop by The Armed all weekend, just like over and over again, trying to figure out what the fuck they did on that album because there's so many sounds on it.
Dude, that's one I need to listen to so hard. Oh man,
it's so cool. It's so cool.
Zach Weeks said there were like over 100 tracks per song, and they kept emailing him tracks as it was mixed.
There are so many people in that band.
That's insane.
That is crazy. What the fuck? Lucas, thanks for putting that link in the chat. By the way, I don't know if that was you, Lucas, or one of the people watching. But yeah, that's awesome. Your Big Cartel's now in the chat. What is your album of the year, either for last year or leading up to this point of this year?
I think last year I can safely say it was the new Fleet Foxes album, Shore. Like that's just a huge band for me. They're like an indie folk thing. Not at all what we play, but it's just a very, very big genre for me. But then this year, maybe that new Black Country New Road or album.
I haven't listened to that yet.
Very good album.
What was it again?
Black Country New Road.
Black Country New Road.
Honestly, I get so thrown off by lists and like when albums came out. I think Alphaville by Imperial Triumphant came out in 2020, but it might have been okay. That's my fucking album of the year, for sure. I love that record. Immersion by Primitive Man is such a close second, and then fuck Gulch. I have to say all three. Like
those are like all in my top 5 for sure.
Oh, they're so fucking good,
dude. I've been meaning to check out Gulch, but I haven't done that yet. But yeah, Imperial Triumphant is freaking
cool.
insane. What about you, Joe?
What about you?
Okay, this is gonna be a weird one. It's like very different from anything they said. I thought Punisher by Phoebe Bridgers was fucking awesome, dude. I think that album is fucking awesome.
I
listened to it so many times.
Bridgers, I just can't get behind some of it. But I thought the previous album before Punisher, I think it was a little better. But there are definitely some tracks off Punisher that I liked.
I love that album. I love it. I listened to it so many times.
All the respect.
That's so funny.
Hey, yeah, more respect to you, man.
Dude, yep.
That's about all I had, unless you had something else I wanted to bring up.
I was gonna say, like, when you listen to grindcore all the fucking time, playing it, dude, we listen to so much shit. I think like the band favorite is like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard between all of us. That's like the band that we play when we're all in the car together or whatever.
Yeah, I think that there's like only a handful that everybody can absolutely get behind, and that's probably the number one.
Dude, I agree, man. You can't listen to like extreme metal all the time. Like the Beatles is a huge band for me. I don't know if you can tell by the sick poster back there.
I was gonna compliment that.
Dude, hell yeah, it's an awesome poster. But hell yeah, you can't just listen to like extreme metal all the time. It also like stifles your creation. You know what I mean? You're bringing in bringing in influence from outside is a really good thing.
Yeah, I've listened to less metal since I joined this band. Honestly,
I feel different than them. I kind of get more and more into it as I go, but like definitely the shit that's on the fringe and the avant-garde and like whatever is fucking weird and what, like, I don't know. I feel like when I listen to music for like my own pleasure maybe versus like when I'm listening to metal to maybe get in the mood to write or like, you know, kind of find stuff that inspires me. It's really different. I don't know. I mean, not that almost sounds like I don't enjoy metal. I fucking love metal and I listen to it all the time in my spare time, but like, of course. But yeah, I don't know.
Dude, I got you, man.
I actually have one more album from 2020. I forgot I wanted to mention it.
Go for it.
I Let It In and It Took Everything by Loathe is so good.
Yes.
That's probably my second. It's so good.
Dude, I've heard a lot of people mention that one. I'm not as high on it, but I can get behind it.
I haven't heard it. I would love to.
We listened to about half of it one day, and you said it was cool, but I never told you what band it was.
I never fucking remember, unfortunately. This year though, fucking Suffering Hour, holy shit.
Yes.
Sanguisugabog fucking rules. New Alter Age album is coming out. The 2 singles off of it are insane. Honestly, this year.
Band. Alter Age, is that what you said?
Yeah, dude, you should tell it ALTAR age.
This year's King Gizzard album was better than last year's. I'll say that.
This year's what?
This year's King Gizzard was better than last year's. I gotta say.
I've been listening to a lot of Friends albums this year, like Mirrors by People Slicer. I've listened to a lot. That new Dreamwell album I've been listening to a lot. I know you interviewed them like 4 days ago.
Yeah, they're the last one.
They're very nice people, and like I haven't heard a Screamer album in a while that I really, really liked.
Dude, yeah, they fucking kill it. That's one of my top 10 for sure this year.
Same.
Well, like I was saying, it's about all I had. Unless y'all had something else you wanted to bring up, got a little outro. We could just go.
Word, yeah, dude. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. So if you're looking for something to listen to while you go exploring dilapidated mortuaries, definitely check out the terrifying debut album from Knoll, which came out in February. You guys are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Bandcamp, all the streaming platforms. We've also got a Big Cartel. All the links to all this will be in the description below. Do you have any other social plugs that I'm missing?
No, but it's Knoll grind on like almost everything except for Knoll VHS on.
I was gonna say, why is it Knoll VHS, man?
We can never explain. We don't talk about it.
I don't know.
That's for the best.
As for me, drop my channel a follow so you always know when I go live. You can also sub to get access to some exclusive emotes, as well as access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and streaming services. You can also sub for free by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube folks, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, tickle the notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support me for free. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation, at thesoundthatenscreation.bandcamp.com. My next guest, hopefully it works out, is Blindfolded and Led to the Woods, who dropped a new album, Nightmare Withdrawals, back in March. Join us this Wednesday the 21st right here at twitch.tv/thecast.ends-creation for the live cast. Thanks for being here, guys. Hope you had a good time.
Fuck yeah, dude. Thank you for having us.
Hell yeah, and thank you guys for watching and listening.